The main objective why we did this study is because we had a hunch that being millennial in Asia was very different from being millennial in the West. The term millennial started out in the West, and we're very influenced by it. The young Asians really can relate to millennial values. It's very different to actually live being millennial here in Asia because they're highly influenced by cultural traditions, so there's much more tension in living out their millennial lives.
True, because I mean, in the cities that we're looking at, it's very different to be a millennial in China or in India, where caste and class is still very strong. Singapore may be first world, but they're still highly equal tribal. I mean, you have the Malay Singaporean, you have the Hindu Singaporean, you have the Chinese Singaporean. So
even Malaysia is challenging.
Muslim Asian, the Muslim who is liberal, the Muslim who is conservative, and they still live in a society that is very much different from, say, Western. Right, where traditions, filial piety, love for family is still very strong. Even in Sydney, where millennials still live at home, and as opposed to the West, it's very important to note that our study focuses on millennials in 11 cities around Asia and the Pacific. They're 18 to 28-year-old, single, from middle class background. So for research, what we did was we went one-on-one with the millennial. We talked to their friends and their family, people who were close to them. We went to where they were rather than bring them to a room. So what we have and based our codes on are actually 130 portraits. These are portraits of millennials from all over Asia and the Pacific. We've done around 600 interviews and about 1,000 supporting interviews.
We're lucky to have been able to crunch all of our data, which was a year's worth of data, into 7 codes. But I think it would also be good to include like an explanation of what are codes and how the codes work.
Codes are what you call the subconscious telling you, this is how you think, this is how you feel, this is how you act. And it's actually based on culture, values, the way you were brought up.
And having worked with you for several years, I really understand their value when it comes to creating communication and even understanding how to market products, because it tells us the deeper reason why they do stuff. I really had to see it from a millennial mindset because they do interact with the world differently. But I did realize that the world is changing so fast, they're actually reacting in the best possible way. And I think it's very important for many of us to understand the millennial generation. I, for one, puzzled, by a lot of their behavior and why they behave like that. There's certainly no other example to compare it to. But using the codes, then it's easy to see why they interact with the world that way.